Okay, hello everyone, and thank you for joining our meeting. Our webinar today would be about transforming customer complaints into business opportunities. I am Hudba Khalaf. I am a co-founder of WITS Web Innovations and Technology Services, and I'm a senior tech lead. I created multiple startups, digital startups. Basically, I hold a master's degree in digital business from Salford University in Manchester. And today I will take you to a journey to share our experience in digital customer service, complaint and compensation management. Basically, we started this and we mastered it in 5 years, serving international F&B companies like Arla Foods, government entities like Dubai Silicon Oasis Authority, and people in retail, hospitality, FMCG companies. Basically, what to expect from today's webinar, we're going to share our experiences in community management and dig deep in how community management can benefit the businesses, how to do it in a proper way. And basically, there's some tools and techniques, practical tools and techniques that we can use. Also, we will provide some insights about complaint management and compensation management for companies, F&B, FMCG, retail, basically anyone who has mass consumers and they have digital platforms and they interact with people through these digital platforms. So basically, who is it for? Who should consider advanced complaint management? If you're a small team of 10, 15 people, and you have 500 clients, maybe you don't need something advanced to manage the whole thing. But if you are like F&B company, FMCG, you work in retail, healthcare, hospitality, startup, e-commerce specifically, or educational institutions, you might need some advanced community management, complaint, and compensation to be in place as a system. So basically, we need to start with understanding the complaint. As you can see, a lot of people can complain for a variety of reasons, like this cat in this slide. Basically, the base of the complaint is someone is not happy with something, and they just shout it out. I'm not happy with the service. You go to a restaurant and you see some people shouting at the waiter and saying, bring us this, we didn't expect this, things like this. But more specifically, often it would be a gap, and this gap between the expectation and delivery. So some people would expect something and they get it wrong, or it didn't match the expectation. So managing expectation is part of making people complain and come up shouting to you. Another thing that happens for complaints is something that we didn't do right. So something that we have oversight over. Like we didn't deliver on time, we didn't walk the talk, we promised something and we deliver something else. Mainly e-commerce systems face this with delivery, let's say. So some people will promise you in 2 days you'll have this product, and after 2 days, 3 days, they didn't deliver. They failed your expectations, so they're gonna go and complain. And occasionally, actually, this is what we face with some of our clients. Someone just shouting to have some gain of this complaint. So basically, they are holding our reputation hostage. If we didn't compensate them, they will go and shout some bad reviews about us. The good thing about complaint is 90% of people, they don't complain. But when they complain, basically, they are giving you a second chance. They like the product, but this time they didn't meet their expectation. It didn't meet their expectation. So what they do basically is coming forward and say, yeah, let's give this guy a second chance before moving to the next product in the shelf. And basically, we're talking in the context of, F&B, FMCG, retail, some people who has mass clients and diverse clients as well. Now we need to know why complaint matters. As I said, when you have a complaint, you start a dialogue, you have a conversation with someone who's not happy with something, and it's worth investigating. Why? Because basically it's a feedback goldmine. This will give you like insights about even your internal operations that happens. One of our clients, a semi-government entity, who recently launched their technology hub, which they have like offices, retail stores, and residential areas. And they want to rent it, sell it, and do the real estate job with it. But basically what happened is these guys, they finish work at 3:30. And a lot of the clients, they call specifically for residential after that time. But if they didn't look at the complaint, like, yeah, no one answered us until the next day, they couldn't realize that there's a problem there. And what happened is from the complaint management that we collected during the efforts that we did, basically they changed their processes, and they hired a company to do the sales for them. And that will actually that resulted in an increase in the sales, and they fulfilled the whole area in like 2.5 months. And that was like a significant profit gain, right? The other thing about it is the customer retention. People would like to be heard, even if you didn't compensate them, even if you didn't give them something back as a compensation. They will feel like, yeah, there's someone is really cares about us, and they are listening to us. And that will keep them with you because you listen. Just imagine you go to Google review and you write something and no one answered. You will lose the faith in that company. While if someone responded to you, like what happened with our one of our clients, Titan, which is an esports center, he managed to flip the people, and from 1-star review on Google to 4 or 5 stars review. Basically, it will also lead to service enhancement. As I mentioned with a semi-government entity, they changed the service that they provide in a way that they could have it in place, and they can optimize it in a way that suited them perfectly. One more thing is market insight. Now we're living in a very volatile and unpredicted markets, and the shifts in user behaviors and trends can be very rapid. So people can complain about, yeah, you don't do this, your other competitor does it for us. So this will give you like an insight about how the market is shifting, how is the trends in consumer behaviors are changing, so you can be like adaptable in a way, right? And the most important thing, and actually the brand integrity. When you answer complaints and you compensate people, you will have that bond with them, and that bond will lead you like, yeah, even if you have like some bad reviews from reputation hijackers, I would call them, it will be there. They will listen to you first. They will ask you first. So having that integrity in a way that would be in the right place will help you flourish the brand. Now, this is actually important, how to make the best out of consumer communication. And it's really important to mention that the consumer communication is the first touch point with clients, because it's on social media. You write a post, someone is reacting to it, someone do some commenting on it, sharing it, and occasionally they come to you, ask questions about the offer, let's say, that you have. So it's the first touch point. And people now with this digital era, you have like many digital channels. You have the social media, you have emails, you have live chat, you have web forms, and more. And for companies who had like massive consumers like F&B, FMCG, retail, e-commerce, it's becoming more difficult and actually more important to manage their digital brand and their online communities properly. Let me add this person. Okay. So the consumer communication is the first touch point, and that's why it's important. This is what we call in social media, we call it community management. So community management actually has like basically 4 pillars. You need to have like active listening, and active listening meaning like you need to really listen to the problem and actually try to investigate the root cause of this problem. So I'm not happy with the food because, you know, on social media, you can't predict how people can be descriptive, and that lead you to ask more questions. And so you can get to the root of this through the second pillar, which is the encouraging dialogue. you need to start this dialogue with people. You can have like Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups at certain point. You can host live Instagram, so you can like collect some feedback from people. Um, the most important thing actually is also, now we are listening, we are encouraging the dialogue, but to respond to people in a consistent way. So it's not like this day in 5 minutes you respond and then you forget about it for the next week and you have like 10 communication and you go. You need to be consistent, and consistent in terms of timing and in terms of brand voice. Brand voice is really important because if you have like 5 agents working, each one of them has different background, especially in UAE where like we are a multicultural city. So you need this type of consistency in your messaging, consistency in your replies, and in timing for sure. The most important thing is maintain transparency. And transparency actually, what I mean by it is to keep an open communication with people so they can trust you before they can trust whatever other people says about you. So when you maintain that transparency, if you listen to their problems, as we will see in the next slides with complaints, you can build that trust with them. So whatever other people would say or write reviews, maybe they will come to you first because you have that bond with them through maintaining this transparency. In this section, actually, we're going to talk now about some tools and techniques, some practical things. What can we use to enhance this communication and community management? From our experience, we do it through multiple tools, and we developed our own tools as well. But basically, it comes down to like 6 steps. First, in the communication, you need to set your objectives because it's really important to know where are you going, and also to monitor the efforts. Are they going to have that objective or goal or not? Let's say your objective would be like increase interaction, sell more, enhance communication, or even brand awareness. So you need to set the objective so you can know how you can track that objective and also monitor it through the appropriate tools. Some of the tools that we use for the monitoring part would be social media interaction tools like Brand Watcher. Brand Watch is very good for retail. Actually, multiple retail brands they use this Brand Watch. Talkwalker as well. But if you want to go like on a broader perspective and to do like social listening, so you would know what other people says about you, not only on your channels, but basically everywhere on the internet. You can use some advanced tools like Meltwater, a crowd analyzer as well. These platforms, they give you actually sentiments. They will give you, this is positive, this is negative, and they can generate some reports. But these type of platforms, they are a bit expensive, I would say. If you don't have a budget of like starting from $8,000 per month, maybe you can go to the other tools for on your social networks like Brand Watcher, Talkwalker, or even the social media management tools like Hootsuite. They generate reports. There are Buffer, one of the other tools. Now the second step would be like establishing the guidelines. And this would be like some efforts offline before going online. We set the objectives, and now the guideline will include like the tone of voice, the language that we use, brand voice, FAQs that we can add and develop over time. If we have ad campaigns running or we have an offer, also we need to include it so our customer service team can respond to people accordingly. Basically, if you are a small team, I would go with Excel. You don't need to pay more for any other, expensive tool or more sophisticated tool. Excel would do just fine. But if you are an F&B working in the region and you have different offices, maybe you need to go for something more sophisticated. Some CRMs, if you have a CRM in your company, can work. Zoho, they have like a Zoho knowledge management, HubSpot as well. Salesforce can go that way. Also, you can go for some specific tools for documentation or knowledge management, like Document 360. It's really nice. It has different permissions, who can edit and who can see what. One of the tools that I like, because I have a background in coding and development as well. It's a developable tool called Gitbook. It's super fast and their search is amazing. And also it's affordable. I think it's like $10 per user per account. It can provide like the needed services on time. Now we need to encourage the dialogue, as I said, and encouraging dialogue actually can be done on different levels. We can split them into proactive and reactive. Proactive, when you have like a post, always include call to action in your posts. So what do you think of this? How can we improve? Do you think this is valid for you? Join now. Whatever call to action, but just put it there. And it needs to be drafted according to your objectives that you just did, right? Also, other things that you can do is, as I said, live sessions. You can host live webinars, live chat, live Q&A. On the other hand, for the reactive one, if someone just reached out to you, you can use like a social media management platform, which basically what they do is they put all of your social networks in one page. So you can see your Twitter channel, Facebook account, Instagram account, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, in one screen. And if anyone like asks a question or did an interaction, you can manage it from there. Some of these tools would be like Hootsuite, Sprout Social. Sprout Social, actually one of our favorite. Buffer, it's very good for X or Twitter, X-Twitter. Basically, after we encourage that dialogue, we need to create a feedback loop. And feedback loop doesn't need to be like asking people questions. There are some technical tools that can help us with it. But basically, we can still have like a questionnaire, fill this questionnaire, and we'll give you like a voucher for X amount of money. Fill this and you'll get like 15 days for free on our platform. On the other hand, the technical tools that can help with this, actually, it can track what people are doing on your website. So which part are the hot zones, which one are the cold ones, what are the pages, how is the user journey is going. And there are fantastic tools. Hotjar, basically what it does, it recorded a video for you for the interaction of the most people. You can use like Customer XM as well. It's very, very nice tool. Also, we have SEM Rush. This one is a very advanced tool with a lot of features. So, but it needs someone who knows like how to dig deeper in this platform. But it's a fantastic tool. It can provide a lot of matrices that is needed for big corporates, I would say. Now, because we are living in a multicultural city, so we need to embrace that localization. You can't just respond to people in English. Okay, everyone will understand English, but a lot of consumers here would be Arabs, Indians, maybe. So you need to define the target audience and then do the interaction with them in their preferred language. From our experience, we didn't actually use more than Arabic and English, but for one specific client, we had a request for Indian as well. When you understand that, actually, it will imply you need to hire a bilingual culture. And our experience with Gen Z local people, they are very motivated. They need to prove themselves, and they're very good in English and Arabic and well respected. So this is one thing to think about. One important thing about localization is you need to keep an eye on the local trends, the events, the holidays. So you can plan your ads basically, but it's out of the scope, but also the communication with people, how to greet them in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, in Qatar, in Jordan as well. One important aspect of the community management is the team collaboration, because if your team is not organized, even if you have the guidelines, but you have like a new joiner, you need someone to communicate with each others. So it's really important to have that engagement with teams. It's the HR thing to do the foster team culture and things like this, but we can have some tools that can support us with this. Basically, and a lot of corporates, mid to large size enterprises, they have software for that. Microsoft Teams, Slack is one of them. If you're really concerned with your privacy between the team, Rocket Chat is a very nice solution. It's similar to chat groups, chat system, similar to Slack, but actually it's so private, even the US military, they use it between their own teams. Discord, actually it's for gamers, but I've seen some corporates that are using Discord servers for privacy and interaction. Now, how we can do the consumer complaints, how we can manage the consumer complaints effectively. This is a very important topic because complaints can be big, can be small, can be very damaging if they are left without handling well. So managing them would be like not just your agency comes and take a screenshot of, yeah, someone is not happy with this, and they send it to your team. They need to dig deeper. And through our 5 years work with some big names like Arla Foods, Dubai Silicon Oasis, and others, we developed like a very simple four steps way, a process to manage complaints. And each one of them is really important to understand how things should go. First thing is complaint logging. And this is when I go back to the consumer communication, because it's the first touch point. If you just, someone send you, I'm not happy with the service, and you didn't continue this dialogue with them, you didn't collect information, so you can't do the complaint logging, right? You log the complaint, basically, and into a system. And again, it could be like an Excel sheet. You can send it by email to your manager, and then get approvals, things like this. Or you can have a sophisticated systems like ticketing systems who can help you with this. We'll discuss the tools in the next slide. One important aspect of the complaint is the validation. Validating the complaint depending on the information, and if it's like righteous or not righteous, or someone is trying to get more money out of us, it's crucial. So building a process for it, like let's say F&B, you have a brand manager and you have the factory manager, and when you get the complaint with all the details, you need to send it first, verify it yourself, and then send it to one of them and ask them for approval, and ask them basically for an answer, not an approval. In this case, actually, we take no for an answer, but we need to answer the client why it's not approved. Building that type of process between your internal team is crucial, because time it's time consuming and it's resource consuming. So when you optimize it in a nice way, it will be very effective. Thoughtful compensation is, we don't compensate everything at the same level or in the same way. Actually, we need to build a criteria how we compensate people. What is the strategy to develop this compensation? What is the severity of the complaint itself? Is it like damaging for reputation, or it's a small glitch somewhere, or it's someone trying to scam us? And actually, one of speaking of scamming and the validation of the complaints, one of our hospitality clients, he went with us to, there's this complainer, and he keep complaining about us and all of this. And actually, we took it. We looked at TripAdvisor, and we came to the conclusion that this guy is trying to complain on everyone, so they can get some money out of them, or some free night or a free meal. So that insight alone give us like, we're not going to compensate you. On the other hand, the reporting and insights also is a very important aspect of it, because without reporting and insights, you can't do anything, and we'll discuss it in the next slide because it's really important. Now, what are the tools that we can use? We can use for complaint logging, the validation, and compensation reporting. Basically, depending on the system that is installed in your company, you can use that one if they have. If they don't, for complaint logging, you need to have like an automated system, like Zoho ticketing system. Zoho, by the way, they have like a suite of modules that can, interconnected with each other's. You have Zendesk, you have Freshdesk. Basically, any ticketing system would work. For complaint validation, it's the most important is you build that process. You don't need to, reinvent the wheel. Ask how it's done now, and try to enhance that process, automate it in a way. And for automation, actually, you can use multiple tools for that. Since you have the process in line, you can use the ticketing system itself to, when I register this complaint, send it to this person for approval. And when he press on approve, it will directly come to me for compensation or for rejection, so I can communicate it to the client, right? Other external tools that can do this workflow is Zapier. So let's say if this thing happened on your social media, send an email for this person, right? And actually, it works as an integrator between two different systems that are not linked to each other. It's really nice when you need to try it. And actually, similar to it, there's FTTT, which is, it stands for if this, then that. So from the name, you would know it's a process builder or workflow builder. Zoho also, they have like a Zoho Flow, which is, you can build the workflow that you want. For reporting and insight, reporting is very, very crucial. And it helps like solving a lot of problems. We can use multiple tools. We can use like custom reporting from the ticketing system that you use, or from the logging system. Even Excel, if you have Excel, you can generate some visual reports out of Excel. If you have a lot of data, you can use Tableau. You can use Microsoft BI, Business Intelligence. Also Zoho, they have their own BI analytics system. Speaking of reporting, actually we have, because collecting the data, and the more data that you collect, it's really important. One of our clients in F&B, they have a problem for like a number of months. One problem keep popping up in different places in the region. One time in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, one time in Dubai, one time in Oman, and they couldn't catch it. For like 3-4 months, they did 2 investigations from the factory to the supply chain, to the logistics, storage facilities, to the supermarket, and nothing was there. Because we collect a lot of data, and food and beverage is a highly regulated market. So you have this batch number, time code, and timeline, and some other technical details. While we're providing this data to them, they would know, at the middle of the night, there is something happening at one of the storage facilities that didn't belong to them. They were renting it, but they identified like, this is the problem here, and they were looking for it for months without any solution. Because it's a data-driven system, we could have advised them for this, and actually they cut loss of tens of thousands of dollars, and I think even more in reputation. So it's not because they didn't do it hard, they didn't have the data for it. With this reporting and insights, we could have like push it forward with them. Now, the thoughtful compensation. Actually, compensation can be done automatically in multiple ways with some technical integrations, but basically it's the same idea. And even for our clients, sometimes we wrap a basket of gift basket, and we send it to the complainer. Sometimes we send them like gift cards on Amazon or Noon, sometimes from Al-Futtaim. If you have like in your POS a voucher management system or voucher system, we generate voucher for them. This specifically for retail would work nicely. And for e-commerce, just refund them, similar to what happened in Talabat. If you go to Talabat, you're not happy, you take a picture of the product, and you send it, and they will refund your money. And actually, this is a very good topic for complaint management, a successful one. It's a bit different because it's instant. It doesn't involve social media, but it's working because it's an instant service, right? Now, how we use these reports and insights from complaints. It's not from the whole marketing activities, it's not from the whole operations, but basically from the complaints themselves, how we can do this integration. I believe when you hear the complaints, it can go to marketing or operations. It can go to a strategic positions to make like a strategic directions or enhancement, but you don't know. In these, it's like the direct integration that could happen with the complaint. For marketing, actually, it gives you some insights about the campaigns that you're doing, how are people like reacting to them, so you can enhance the campaigns that you're going to do in the future, right? One important aspect is the brand reputation management, because you can show the management, you can show, actually, you can put it on your website. We just decreased the complaints from triple X to 1X in 6 months using these techniques and tools, right? So it's an indicator of customer happiness in a way or another. Also, you can have an engagement opportunity because people who complain, these are the people who are willing to engage in a conversation, who are willing to go through a dialogue with you. Basically, in one of our with one of our clients, we managed to convert one of the complainers to be a brand ambassador, and the company were happy, they were happy. We have this direct communication with them. You can include them in mass emails, marketing emails, sales offers, and if you feel like they have an influence on other people, you can reach out to make them ambassadors, maybe, right? On the operation level, it can help you with product and service improvement, like what would happen with the technology hub that we talked about. We could push the service to be enhanced, so we don't go this way of our people doing the sales. You're going to hire external company that can work after 5 or 6 p.m. so they can respond to people in a nice way. Other thing, it can help with process optimization. With this F&B client, yeah, sometimes you don't need to keep it at hot weather at a certain months in these storage facilities. You need to make sure of this and that. One of the nice things that could happen from the complaints, instead of having like this blaming culture and pointing fingers, you can have that synergy. Yeah, we have a complaint and we all winners because we all contributed to the solution. So it's a way to encourage the team to work together as a holistic business unit for a holistic business improvement, right? Now we're going to talk about the ticketing systems versus complaint management systems. Ticketing systems, they are like generic, they're built to be general purpose. So you open a ticket, you can do some customization for it, like some of the data, but it's for general people, for generic use. It's not specifically for complaints. And that's why it's task-oriented, not customer-oriented in a way. What the analytics that they provide, because the nature of them being general, the analytics would be like basic. It can be customizable, but or it can have like a personalization, but it's limited in that context. While complaint management system, they are specialized for handling the complaints. So it's not a ticketing system. They have some features of the ticketing system, but they took it to the next level. They are customer-centric, so they focus on the customer, not on the task. So they would say how much time it took for this customer to be happy, not how much time it took this agent to respond to this ticket, right? It's important, it's equally important, but it's the focus would be on the customer themselves. The insights will be specifically for the complaints, the types of the complaints, the regions, the timing. So you can have like a lot of statistics around the complaints themselves, not just the task or timing of the task, right? Um, Actually, it has some integrated responses. When you create a logging, the system should send an email to the brand manager or factory manager. And from the email, they would say approve. It will be dynamically approved. And then it will come to you. You would say your policy for compensation, and you say compensate. So you generate that voucher, or you plan to send that gift. And there's a workflow for it. Frankly speaking, I didn't see like complaint management system out there for public use. Rather than companies, they are developing them for themselves internally. In our company, actually, we developed a whole complaint management system for that purpose. Now, actually, this is the conclusion. What do you benefit from the complaint management, community management? It's enhanced reputation for sure. So when people ask, there is someone to respond to them with empathy, I would say. Also, you have deep insight about the market, about the customer, the shifts in customer behaviors and trends. Also, you have like operational excellence, because it will give you insights about the glitches in your operations, so you can enhance them. For sure, the customer loyalty, it will enhance it massively. And also, this will contribute to the strategic growth of the company. So you would say, I'm going to focus on this product, not that. These type of operations needs to be done in this way. So it will help in the decision. It will not make the strategic decisions, but it will help with its insight of the decision-making process on this. Basically, and most importantly, it provides with dynamic adaptability. So whatever is changing, you would know it's changing through community management and through complaint management. So you would know there's a better product in the market. People are liking that product more. That service is providing more options for them. So you can respond rapidly to these changes. Basically, at WITS in our company, all of the things that we saw, it's an accumulative experience of trial and error for 5 years. We developed it and we worked with big names, Arla Foods, Dubai Silicon Oasis, Prime Healthcare Group, and some companies also in Saudi Arabia. We'll go through them in the next slide. But we came, this is what we do, and we built an internal knowledge-based system and complaint management system internally. We do setup and strategy. So we create the FAQs, we create the knowledge base, and we put some rules to enhance them. Or we monitor and engage. We use our social media tools as well. Sprout Social, I'm just laying down a secret, to monitor and engage with people. So whenever someone came and asked us something, we respond. Also, we do the full complaint handling. So we handle the complaint from the logging. We log all the information comprehensively, even videos, photos, and we send it to the concerned people. We get the approval or rejection, and then we do the compensation. So we send the compensation. And actually, we do compensation through voucher compensation in the GCC, Middle East, and North Africa. Basically, in any main chain, supermarket, retail, online platforms, Noon and Amazon. Also, we provide analysis and reports to improve. And we always collaborate with your team, and we optimize the process over time. Some people, they've been with us for like 5 years. Arla Foods, we started with 1 brand. Now we end up with 9. I believe we did a good job in this context. These are some of the people that we can work with, that we worked with before. Pook, Noon, Dubai Racing Club, Midan, Prime Healthcare. Some in Saudi Arabia, Sanab al-Dawa, Mansour Rabia Medical, Dubai Digital Park, Dubai Silicon Oasis. For full list of our clients, you can go to our website. This is very short list, condensed list. Yeah, here's my contact information. If you need anything, any help with that, I'll be more than happy to have a one-on-one meeting, even just to discover and to do some advice. There's no charge for that, okay? I will lay down to the thank you. And now I'm ready to take some questions. Yeah, any questions? It's nice that we're seeing everything is clear. Let me open the chat. Maybe there's something in the chat. Okay, Shuruk, when should a company start such process? This is a very good question. Basically, I would say from day one, from day one of operation. So even if you're like a small team, you don't need to have like a whole system and a whole collective, processes and procedures and a knowledge base. And if it's like a 5 people working on a new startup product, and you have like you're targeting 100 clients, how many of them would be complaining? Like 10%. So I think it's manageable in a direct communication between the team. While if it grows more than that, like you have more clients, then you need, because you need to think about it this way, how much you want to put your reputation on the line. It's up to you, but for me, from day one, I'll start thinking of how I can manage the complaints in my new startup. Okay, how do you incorporate, Selma? How do you incorporate customer feedback into strategic planning? Actually, this is a good question. Basically, strategic planning, it goes through like multiple layers, and the complaint or feedback from clients, it would be at the marketing level or post-sales level, right? So what you can do is you can generate reports highlighting the main issues that you have, the main trends change specifically for the community management. Like, yeah, we noticed a shift from this to this. And also it can incorporate with some sales reports that would say, yeah, there's our market share is dropping by 5%. We need to know why. And then the director will look at these reports and say, yeah, okay, there's a shift here, and the sales is data is supporting that. So yeah, we need to do something about it. Generating reports and including these insights in the main reports that goes to the upper management, I would say. Make sense? Yeah, thank you, Nancy. Actually, I will be sharing this presentation with you by email. So you can go through it, you can have the tools that can be used. I'll be frank with you guys. What we do here is we present how things should be done. It's either you do it yourself, and then we would feel like we did something good, or you can say, yeah, maybe Hudba, we want you to do this for us. And then I would say, yeah, this is fantastic. This is our area. And let's have some separate one-on-one communication, right? It's always nice to meet new people, and hearing from different industries also enrich my knowledge and widen my scope of attention for this service. Okay, Fedwa Isaac, thank you so much. Yeah. Any other questions? Tulin, how do you ensure that FAQs remain relevant and up to date? This is actually a very good question because things change over time, right? What happened is basically it's weekly reviews of the policies. Let's say from our experience, what we do is we have a monthly review, and we have a review before any offer goes or any new ad campaign goes for the client. So we put like, what are the questions that we have? How do we do this? And then we will identify some questions that might not be still relevant. We'll say, but this can contradict with this. We do some analysis, regular feedback. Basically, the basic information about the company, about the products will not change. And if it's changed, we would know about it because it's a major change in, like, let's say, packaging of the product. So we would know what is the new package would look like. Is there any new information? Is there any change in the ingredients? Things like this. And actually, it depends on the industry as well. For, let's say, hospitality, a lot of things change on a weekly basis, maybe. Events. So basically, it depends on the industry, but regular reviews and attention from the team, and also the collaboration between the team, the engagement, would help resolve any issue that happened. Like if someone posted something is not updated, other people can just inform them, right? I believe this is the way. Regular reviews and meetings before any major changes, ad campaigns, or offers go online. Hope this answers your question. Okay, any other questions? We're 5 minutes more than the time of the webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some helpful information that can help you with designing your community management, complaining compensation in a way. Please feel free to reach out at any time. I think you have my email address. Also, you can make a screenshot of the contact information here. And let's keep in touch. I'm open to make like a one-on-one meeting. Okay, thank you so much, and see you in later webinars. Take care.